This is how you'll understand emotional intelligence better, because it goes a long way. How you feel dictates how you react, because most of the times we end up doing things that we not even thought we could possibly do, simply because we did things based on how we felt, based on our feelings. And our feelings mustn't dictate how we live our lives, what we normally do in every day of our lives. Because if you do things based on how you feel, you end up doing things that you will be ashamed of. You'll end up doing things that you never thought you could possibly do. But if you say to yourself that, you know what, I need to take control of how I feel, because how I feel will dictate what I normally do. So let's try this trick that will help us to become the best possible version of ourselves by taking full control of how we actually feel, which will dictate what we normally do. Because that's what happens mostly in each and every day of our lives. We do things based on how we feel, not based on logic, not based on what needs to be done, not based on what should be done, which all comes down to a disciplined character, which needs to come into play when your feelings start to show up, which needs to come into play when you no longer feel motivated, when you no longer feel inspired. Because most people do things based on how motivated they are and end up being unhappy, because you cannot be happy and also be motivated each and every day of your life. That's highly impossible. And if you do things based on how motivated you are, the following day you might not show up. The following day we might not see you, simply because you're no longer feeling the same. We mustn't do or even let our feelings dictate how and also what we do with our lives. Our feelings should be something that we need to actually control. I know it's hard to even control feelings, because we can't even control what we feel. We just feel things, and that's normal. That is life. It's yin and yang. There is supposed to be a balance. But the crazy trick that I've been applying along my journey, it's having to do things because they need to be done. All comes down to my disciplined character. Not how I feel, but based on logic, based on what needs to be done. Discipline led me to do things that I never thought I could possibly do. Good things, by the way, not bad things. And that's what I'm happy about. And I'm going to teach you exactly how I did that, which all comes down to discipline. Your disciplined character will determine what you normally do. If you're disciplined enough, it will show. If you're not disciplined, it will also show as well. Because how disciplined you are, it will determine what you normally do with your life, as I've already explained. Your emotional intelligence lies in how disciplined you are as a person, and not only as a person, but as a spirit. Because this thing is tied into our genetics. Some other people cannot be disciplined no matter what you can normally teach them. But I highly believe that everyone is a student to life. Life keeps on happening until you learn. Those challenges, even those events that are happening in your life, they are supposed to happen for a certain reason, and that reason is there to teach you a lesson. And it can only stop happening if you learn what life is trying to teach you. Remember, life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. It is happening for your own good. And you can only realize that when you have what you call your emotional intelligence in control, when you have your discipline approach in place. Because discipline plays a vital role in you having to control your emotional intelligence. Your emotional intelligence goes a long way, as I've already explained. How disciplined you are actually dictates what you normally do with your life. And what you do with your life, it dictates your destiny. It dictates your reality. If you're living a reality that you're not even proud of, you need to change how disciplined you are. You need to tell yourself that, you know what, I need to perform whether I like it or not. Especially as a man. If you're a man and you can't perform based on discipline, but you perform based on your emotions or even your feelings, the feelings of guilt, the emotions of fear, the emotions of embarrassment, we need to let go of those emotions, because those emotions are the reasons why we are still stuck in our lives. They're the reasons why we are not even moving forward with our lives, because we do things based on what and also how we feel. And it's about time. Sorry about that. It's about time where we need to change our discipline. Our discipline is lacking, and if we let that go, that's when we start to lose ourselves. That's when we start to lose what we had in place. That's when we start to lose good things, because of we fail to be disciplined enough. We fail to follow through with our discipline characters. It's about time where we need to change. It's about time where we need to become the best possible versions of ourselves, and it all starts from your discipline, and discipline comes from your mind. If your mind is lacking, if your mind is not in the right place, it will be hard for you to actually be disciplined. And if it's hard for you to be disciplined, you will end up doing things that you're not even proud or even happy of. It's about time where we need to take charge of how we live our lives. It's about time where we need to start to react in a different way, in a way that doesn't destroy us, but in a way that actually favors us, in a way that makes us productive, in a way that makes us to produce more than consuming. Because with how I observe, people who lack emotional intelligence are the people who actually consume stuff, but people who are in tune with their emotional intelligence, they have full control of their emotional intelligence, are the ones that produce. Are you a consumer or even a producer? And that one, it will be dictated by how disciplined you are, because how disciplined you are will lead you to actually control what you do. If you can't do what you want to do, it's simply because you're not disciplined enough to do what needs to be done. I don't do stuff because I feel like I'm motivated to do stuff. I'm not recording this YouTube video just because I feel like I had to record it. I'm doing it because it needs to be done, not because of how I feel, not because of what the other person is feeling about what I'm about to do. I'm doing things because they're supposed to be done. I'm working because I'm supposed to work, not because I feel like I want to work today. Because if I do even work based on how I feel each and every day of my life, most of my times I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be doing great stuff, because I feel like I won't be motivated each and every day. I won't be happy each and every day. I won't get the motive to do what needs to be done. Instead, I will be doing things that are not supposed to be done. I'm not sure if you're hearing or even getting the gist of my message, but if you're doing so, just let me know in the comment section on what value have you picked up in this video. Also guys, for more life-changing information, there is an upcoming book, To the Leader in You by Duncan Mnisi, which is coming up this June, on the 30th of June 2025. So to be part of this exciting journey, just click the very first link in the description. On that note, if you are new to this YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and press the notification bell, so whenever I get to upload, you will be the first one to be notified. On that note, I'll see you guys on our next YouTube video. This is your boy Duncan Mnisi. I'll see you guys on the next one. Do not forget, subscribe.